Hello and welcome back. This is AmirLahijy live from Los Angeles. Okay, today I was thinking to talk about Instagram and how social media affected to our lifestyle. But let's see who are he. Okay, where is my guest? Oh my gosh. Oh yes. Hello and welcome. How are you?
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you. So, Dr. Elham, let's talk about Instagram and social media today. And what's the definition of famous and popular?
And that's an awesome question because I think this thirst for followers or likes or attention or affirmation or validation through social media starts when we or some of us confuse the difference between famous and
Mm-hmm.
popular.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, popular, it has a positive connotation.
Mm-hmm.
When in fact, you can be famous, but you
Mm-hmm.
can have negative fame,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I could drive the freeway backwards and then all the news is going to be about me and I'll be famous overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, However, we are living in an era that unfortunately, after somebody gets famous,
Mm-hmm.
you automatically, it's very, very possible and probable that you get popular. And mostly people forget the reason that you became famous.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you get the fame, as long as that number increases in front of your name,
Mm-hmm.
you made it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's unfortunate.
So I was asking someone, a teen, and he said, "I want to be a famous." What does it
hmm
mean?
hmm And how sad that is. I've had that experience as well. You ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh, I want to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a career that I want to have. Not even an influencer or a content creator or celebrity, but famous.
So, and you
So
mentioned
that,
about influencer. Okay, how
mhm.
influencer affected to teenagers and people on social media?
Again, that's very related to what I was going to say because you may think that somebody who's an influencer automatically is going to have a positive impact on
Mm-hmm.
you and on society, when in
Mm-hmm.
fact, you can have positive influencer or negative influencer. Not because just somebody is a content creator,
Mm-hmm.
that means that they're socially, positively impacting the society.
Exactly.
But in fact, if people again, that's an automated goal. Like I want to become an influencer. Influencer, what kind of influence? Doesn't matter. I just want to become an influencer. I just want to influence. I just want to have an impact on society. What kind of impact? What direction? Positive, negative? Doesn't matter. Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the world that I see that our teens are exposed to.
Okay, and it's not just teens. We can see lots of adult people. They are doing lots of, oh my gosh, and they are looking for more likes, more viewers, and then they constantly check their phone. Oh, I don't have that much likes, like my cousin or something. What is
the
this?
numbers the numbers, that's the thing that's troubling us. So it's very simple formula actually. So with each like,
Mm-hmm.
you, a little teeny bit of dopamine is secreted. Like you get some
Wow.
dopamine, one like, one comment, two
Mm-hmm.
likes, more dopamine, 10 likes, more dope. And just like any other substances,
Mm-hmm.
after you get a high,
Mm-hmm.
it's very possible that you develop some sort of addiction to it.
Wow.
And that's just like cocaine. Like
Really?
increases dopamine,
Mm-hmm.
very likely that you develop some sort of addiction to it.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing happens in social media.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a tendency to develop addiction,
Mm-hmm.
if so-called, they say, pop culture, if you have an addict personality, it's
Mm-hmm.
very possible that you
Mm-hmm.
develop some sort of addiction to social media.
Wow.
How do you know you're an addict?
That's my question.
Just like just like any other substances. How do I know that I have a problem with alcohol?
Yeah.
Well, is this having a negative impact on my daily routine?
Right.
Is this distracting me
Mm-hmm.
from my everyday life?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Am I experiencing any sort of withdrawals?
Mm-hmm.
What if I asked you to delete your Instagram today
Oh
for a
wow.
week?
I
How are
heard
you feeling?
I
Yeah,
heard a
how?
lot. Some people they post something and after a few hours they okay, oh I don't have a that much viewers. Let me delete it. Maybe something is wrong. Is
Like
it
hunter.
related to self-esteem?
That's a good question. So, like hunters,
Mm-hmm.
like I just throw a bait and I'll just sit here and wait to see
Mm-hmm.
how many likes do I have. You may heard it a lot that a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
when they don't get the amount of like or comments they want or views, they jump and delete the post.
Mm-hmm.
We are living in an era that guy that you probably heard a few years ago. I think he lived in London, and he completed suicide because he
Wow.
couldn't get the perfect selfie of himself, and
Wow.
that tragic.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of stories like that, but like a few of them just, of course, just get published, and then we hear that in the news. So now you were talking about self-esteem. What happens is that we think the more like I have,
Mm-hmm.
that means the more validations I'm getting, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm
Exactly.
not getting the like and comments I want, I'm not receiving acknowledgement. I'm not getting affirmation. I'm not getting validation.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I am not good enough. The
Mm-hmm.
pressure to be perfect that, some platforms like Instagram has the filter thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's giving
Yeah.
you the message that you are not good enough. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
toolbox for you, just in case you want to fix yourself, because you are not the standard. You are not ideal. So, but that's okay, because we can help you become ideal. So here's the toolbox. So
Wow.
what does it tell me? I am not good enough, right? And that, you got me started on that, and I really want to say, all this, and I really feel for teens that are, being impacted by all this Fitspo and Thinspo. Fortunately, those websites are not really. I think they banned them in the U.S. There were websites about like 10, 15 years ago. They called them Pro Anna and Pro Mia, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically like pro anorexia and pro bulimia. And then there were like two groups of people like kind of bickering at each other and talking back and forth and giving tips. Like
Right.
teens with eating disorders were giving tips to each other, sending pictures, and called them thinspo.
Mm-hmm.
So how to starve yourself, how to like fast for weeks on a month to look like me, and things like that. And unfortunately, as I said, they're not active, but unfortunately I see, on Facebook and Instagram, now they have Thinspo and Fitspo picture, when then some of them they claim that, oh yeah, we have Fitspo, so that's healthier because we're not encouraging you to be thin, we're encouraging you to be muscly.
Mm-hmm.
And that creates a whole other round of problems, like especially, it's not, you may think that they target young women, but
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily. You talk to a lot of guys, it
Right.
impacts their confidence, so I'm not muscly enough, I don't look like that, what do I do to look like this? Yeah. You don't, like I said, you don't see behind the scene of these pictures, of these snapshots. That's just a little slice. You don't see all the supplements that this person's taking. You don't see all the filters that they're using, all the, Photoshop they're doing. So you just see that little byproduct or whatever that is of that little moment. And then you decide to compare yourself with them, and that impacts your view of yourself. So your self-image is not
Right,
only what you think of yourself, but is also how you perceive other people view you.
right.
So, okay, so if that's presented to me as an ideal, as perfection, right? So
Hmm.
I'm comparing myself with this, and I don't look anything like this person. So other people in society may think that I'm worthless,
Right.
right?
So, one of our viewers, she's asking here, okay, could you please talking about child abuse on social media?
Oh, you mean like the kids that are being employed by their parents
Mm-hmm.
to be forced to be famous?
Mm-hmm.
hmm And yes, you are right. That viewer is right. That is child abuse. When
Right.
you see a lot of, and I unfortunately, I see it a lot,
Mm-hmm.
in even celebrity population, that they want to force their kids to become celebrities as well. I have no right to post pictures of my 1-year old running around nude on the beach, and just because I think it's cute,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know who is you know recording that, who's screenshotting that, what are they going to do with that. What is my kid going to tell me in a few years when they see that I have violated their privacy like
Mm-hmm.
that? And then you see a lot of parents are making business with their kids, like, so I'm going to create this page of my 1-year old, 2-year old, or like a 5-year old come here and sing a few songs so that I could like advertise, I don't know, this shampoo,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
Right.
and to me, that is child labor.
Wow.
Mhm.
It's very sad. So
Mhm.
sad. So, in the last 2 minutes, what do you want to say in 2 minutes? Wow.
I want to say, I want to talk to parents a little bit.
Right.
To parents
Exactly.
of students, right? When you notice that your children are, quote unquote, addicts, or becoming addicted to social media, completely, you can't, or if you can, I don't think it's really going to work if you just, ban them from using social media. When in fact, it's helpful if you actually teach them how to have boundaries for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
how to manage using this double-edged sword, how to manage their time. What helps is when I teach my kids how to be mindful,
Mm-hmm.
how to, how am I encouraging my kids to, have other activities in their life other than just sitting here and being on their phone or laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And is my kid physically active? How is my child doing in school? Does my kid has actual friends that they meet in person? I know it's a little bit hard
Mm-hmm.
for kids and parents since last year because of the pandemic, but to your power, what are you doing to encourage your children to actually be active, be in contact
Mm-hmm.
with their friends, not necessarily sitting here and being in touch with my friends through, games or social media, but actually meeting them in person. Um, how am I, um, how am I, how much time am I dedicating to talk to my kids actually talking to them.
Mm.
Recognizing your triggers. Is their triggers boredom? Is it loneliness?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I see that my children are like spending more than they should on social media? So
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, and it was amazing, thought and topics. I hope to talk to you again about these brilliant topics, and thank you again. I appreciate for your time.
my pleasure. My
Thank
pleasure.
you, thank you. Okay, so Dr. Elham Sajed, please share this program with your friends and family, and let's see what is next is coming. Oh yeah. Okay, stay tuned.